Ya está. Y voy dejando pasar a todo el mundo, ¿vale? ¿Y me ayudas a poner a grabar, Zuli, porfis? Ah, pues
De
no.
hecho, estás
Sí, pero...
Ya estás. Vale,
Ok,
voy a
ya
decir
está.
dos. Hola, buenas tardes, bienvenidos. ¿Cómo están todos? Buena tarde, bienvenidos. Gracias por acompañarnos. Los voy a saludar como los voy viendo en pantalla. Veo por ahí a Irma Lorena Delgado, creo. Hola Irma, buena tarde. Alexandra González, Miss Vivi, buena tarde. Mónica Gilbón, buenas tardes, Mónica, ¿qué tal? Gracias por acompañarnos. Profe Víctor, qué bonito fondo, de verdad, está muy padre, así no extrañamos el salón. Muy bien, muchas gracias. Miss Liris e Ivonne, buena tarde, gracias por acompañarnos. Tenemos por ahí a Miss Alicia Valdés, gracias. En el chat, como nos van ahí escribiendo, tenemos preescolar del Centro Educacional Tlaquepaque, gracias por estar con nosotros, buena tarde. Colegio Gabriela Mistral, Miss Alexandra González, buena tarde. Miss Vivi es del Colegio CIO. Ah, qué gusto, Miss Vivi, muchas gracias. Pues bienvenida. Por ahí si llegas a platicar con el profesor Eric Quijas, me lo saludas mucho, porfa, si llegas a hablar con él, ¿vale? Vemos por ahí a Consuelo del Colegio SACB, muchas gracias, Consuelo, por acompañarnos. Bueno, pues muchas gracias a todos. Bienvenidos, buena tarde. Arrancamos puntualito, arrancamos a las 4 de la tarde, lo cual nos da mucho gusto. Del Colegio México de Chilpancingo, Miss Yareli, muchas gracias por estar por acá. Miss Yaret del Colegio Moramay, Alma del Colegio Frida Kahlo, bien, muchas gracias. Bueno, pues me presento para aquellos que no me conozcan, aunque ya hemos estado acá haciendo la presentación prácticamente desde la semana pasada en todas las sesiones. Mi nombre es Joseph Torres, yo soy el gerente académico de Compartir. Me da mucho gusto que estén con nosotros. Y bueno, pues hoy vamos a estar trabajando una sesión mucho más especializada, ¿vale? Tenemos, como les decía, en esta semana, pues hemos venido trabajando con un enfoque a lo largo de cada semana, es decir, arrancamos la primera semana, se acordarán por ahí del 23 de marzo más o menos, con un enfoque de más bien hacia los materiales y los recursos con los que contamos desde Compartir, ¿no? Es decir, un poco nuestra plataforma de gestión Estela, un poco la analítica de aprendizaje, en fin, fuimos enfocándonos primero en la parte de contenidos. Después de eso fuimos trabajando un poco esta parte como de sensibilidad ante el cambio, ¿no? El cómo estratégicamente podíamos migrar nuestras clases de un enfoque tradicional o de un enfoque presencial a un enfoque virtual. Bueno, tuvimos la pausa, ya saben, por ahí vacaciones, Semana Santa, Semana de Pascua. Y la semana pasada retomamos pues ya algunos temas que ustedes nos habían solicitado, ¿no? Trabajar con preescolar, trabajar con evaluaciones, que ha sido sumamente importante. Sabemos que la evaluación ahorita a esta altura del ciclo tiene mucha relevancia, y un poco de brindar apoyo con ciertas herramientas, como utilizar algunos recursos para videollamadas. Y esta semana, particularmente desde hoy, arrancamos con sesiones ya mucho más especializadas, sesiones para un solo nivel, con un cierto contenido. Ayer empezamos con preescolar en material de español, hoy tenemos preescolar en sesión de inglés, mañana tenemos primaria para aquellas materias que son de habla hispana, es decir, matemáticas, lengua materna, conocimiento y exploración, y el jueves vamos a tener secundaria, ¿vale? Entonces, bueno, y la siguiente semana retomamos con secundaria, pero inglés, ¿vale? Entonces, ese está siendo el rol, es importante que lo tengan por ahí en el radar. El mensaje, la invitación, como todas las sesiones, que nos acompañen o que se unan o nos sigan en nuestras redes sociales, Facebook, perdón, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, es sumamente importante porque a través de estos canales estamos compartiendo mucha información con ustedes. desde obviamente, bueno, publicaciones que son artículos, ya saben, o algo de información que pueda ayudarles, los calendarios de los webinars que tenemos programados próximamente, y desde ahí vamos brindando apoyo, ¿no? Y por último, pues también tienen un correo electrónico, recuerden, es coachcompartirmx@santillana.com. A través de ese correo pueden acercarse a nosotros, por ahí muchos ya lo han estado haciendo, si tienen alguna duda, si necesitan algo. Evidentemente, si nosotros podemos apoyarlos en el momento, lo hacemos, y si no, podemos canalizarlos a su coach, ¿no? Lo vuelvo a decir, su coach es su mayor aliado, acérquense al equipo. Evidentemente tenemos un equipo de especialistas que puede apoyar en distintas ramas, ¿no? Y bueno, hoy vamos a trabajar con Ale Belaunzarán. Aprovecho, perdón, para presentarla. Ale es parte del equipo académico, ella es una coach que está radicando en la ciudad de Guadalajara, pero bueno, no atiende solo Guadalajara, atiende otras zonas del país, por ahí Sonora, si no mal recuerdo Zacatecas, en fin, ella está teniendo por ahí varios estados en los cuales está trabajando. Entonces, si por acá tenemos colegios que nos acompañen de Guadalajara o de esta zona, pues muy probablemente conocerán a Ale, ¿vale? Entonces, pues aprovecho, como les decía, para presentarla y obviamente agradecerle. Ale, muchas gracias por el apoyo en esta sesión. Creo que va a ser muy enriquecedora. Y bueno, pues sin más por el momento, cedemos el micro a Ale. Recuerden, estamos en el chat nosotros. Estamos apoyando si tienen algún problema, alguna duda. Con gusto los atendemos. Estamos también en YouTube. Esta sesión se está transmitiendo en YouTube. Entonces, por ahí si nos acompañan por YouTube, tenemos a Yael Martínez del equipo de Mercadotecnia apoyándonos. Le digo Pepe Grillo cariñosamente porque es quien nos va pasando las preguntas o nos va pasando los comentarios. Entonces nosotros se los hacemos llegar a Ale y los vamos a ir leyendo también conforme vayan llegando, ¿de acuerdo? Muchas gracias a todos, bienvenidos y listo, Ale, vamos contigo.
Okay, hello, good afternoon. I'm very glad to be here with you. Today we are going to work with preschool, and I'm going to give you some ideas on what resources you can use to work with your preschool groups online, okay? If you were yesterday with Miss Elisa, she talked about how you can organize your class in preschool in the Spanish area. Okay, today we are going to work with the English resources that you have in our platform. And I am going to give you some ideas as well on how you can structure your class. Okay, so this is the objective of this session, that you get to know a little more about the resources that you already have in our platform and how you can structure all of these resources plus your own resources so you can work from a distance, okay? That is the way in which we are working right now. So to start the session, I would like you to answer this poll and write in there one word that expresses how you have felt in the past month, okay? In the past month, we have been experiencing things that we had never experienced before. So I would like you to go in here. If you can go into the link that you see over there, Paleb. If you have been working with us in the previous sessions, we use this tool a lot. So if you have the app, just go with Alejandra Bell 035, or you can type the whole address in your Chrome or Safari or wherever you are working with, okay? And if you can go in and if you can help me with your comments, okay? Just write one word in that expresses how you have felt. Okay, and I'm gonna see your responses over here. Okay, we have stressed, nervous, exciting. Yes, it's an exciting situation. It's different. Worried, nervous. Okay, if you can, I'm reading on the chat. If you can go in the Paleb and we're gonna see it on the screen, or I'm looking at the chat as well. Nervous, overwhelmed. Yes, okay, it's a different situation, as Ms. Bibi says. definitely this is a different situation, and probably that's what causes in us all of these feelings. Okay, we might feel stressed or nervous or anxious, and at some points we can feel excited as well. Okay, because it's a challenge. Okay, it's a very challenging situation. It's something that we had never done before, especially in preschool. Okay, probably in other levels is a little bit more common that we can work with platforms or work online or do different kinds of activities using technology because they are older students. However, in preschool, it's a little more difficult that we use these kind of activities. Okay, so it's definitely a new situation for all of us, and that is what makes us feel anxious or stressed or scared. Okay, mainly because probably we are not that familiar with technology. Probably these are tools that we had never used before. This is a way of working that certainly we had never used before. Okay, so that's what causes us this feeling. Okay, mainly the idea is that we don't know what to do. Okay, so what do you do when you don't know what to do? Okay, that is the current situation. Okay, so when this happens, when we don't know what to do or what to say, that's when you try to speak with your heart. Okay, so that is what we need to do at this moment. Okay, to think about how we feel, to speak with our heart and to act with our heart, because it's a moment in which everything that we can think of can stress us. Okay, it's an unusual situation. Everything all around is very confusing. So it's a moment to think and speak with our heart. Okay, you are teachers and you became preschool teachers because of your heart. Okay, so it's the moment in which you have to take that into account and think about your students. Think about how they must be feeling. Okay, if you feel like this, stressed, nervous, anxious, and you have all of these mixed feelings, how do you think your students are feeling? Okay, so probably stressed, anxious too, like us. Okay, yes, definitely. If we are scared, we are nervous and anxious and confused and tired as well. Yes, if we have all of these feelings, definitely our students must be feeling that way too. We are adults and we know the situation, we know and we understand what is happening. However, they don't. Probably their own parents think that they are too little to explain the situation and they haven't been explained the situation, or probably even if the parents explained the situation to them, they are not that much aware of what's actually happening. Okay, so probably they feel a little bit like the little boy that we can see in the picture. Okay, parents know what's happening. However, the kid looks a little scared. Okay, like he's holding hands with parents, but he really doesn't know what's exactly happening. Okay, so a lot of the students might feel this way. Okay, nervous, anxious, and very confused of what's happening. We know, you know, more than anybody else, you know that little children have a lot of energy, and being inside a house all the time is not easy for them. Okay, they feel desperate for going out, for seeing you, seeing their friends, their classmates. Okay, it's not easy to be inside a house, and it's not easy for us, it's not easy for them. Okay, besides, yes, as you are saying in here, Miss Angelica, now some of them are happy in my class. Okay, yes, a lot of students actually are very happy in classes. It is sad to say so, but it's a reality that not all of our students are happy at home. Sometimes they can have a stressful environment, a stressful family environment, and especially now because we all feel stressed, we all feel confused. So if the parents feel a little stressed, if the parents feel like confused or nervous because they are working, because they don't know what to do, because they don't know what's going to happen with their jobs and things like that, the environment inside the house is not that mm, relaxing, let's say, okay, for the students. So it's not easy for them. Okay, children are usually happy when they are at school, when they see you, when they see their classmates, And this moment in which they cannot see you, it is difficult, okay? It is difficult for them. When they can see you when you are working online or when you give them a video, that helps them, okay? Definitely that helps. So it's very important, as we said, if you feel stressed, if you feel nervous, it is very important to think not that much with your head, but a little more with your heart, and think about how you are feeling, how your students are feeling, and think that at this moment, probably the most important thing is not to cover all the subjects that we have as if we were inside the classroom, okay? When we are inside the classroom and we have our regular way of working, we follow our book, we have our subjects, we explain, we keep an order. However, at this moment in which we are working in a different way, in which everything is different for us and for the students, and not all of them have the possibility of being like in an online class or to have their parents to help them at this moment, we have to take into account all of those things and probably change, okay? Remember, it's at this moment, we have to take into account their feelings and ours too, okay? So probably at this moment, we might decide not to follow the exact order that we have in our book or in our program, but we can decide to work in a different way, okay? If I have a difficult subject that I know that it's going to be difficult for them to understand or to work, probably that now is not the best moment to work with it. And even if it is the next subject that I was going to work in class, I can change it. And if I think that right now my next subject is numbers, but that's going to be too difficult for them, I can skip it and work with colors. That probably is easier, or things like that, okay? So feel free to do that because we are working in a different way, okay? So we have to work with our subjects also in a different way, okay? So it's important to select the correct subject that is going to be actually easier for the students to understand, okay? So that's like the first advice that I need to give you. First of all, keep calm and teach what you can, okay? We cannot expect the students to have the same learning process as they have in the classroom. Okay, so I need to check out my program, check which subjects would be good for this time to work with, and the other ones I can check them on later when we go back to classes. Okay, there's always going to be time to pick up where we left. Okay, and at this moment, whatever we can do, it's a good thing. Okay, whatever I can work with, even if it's a review on something and some new subjects that are easy to understand from a distance, that's the correct thing to use. Okay, so I can tell you to take into account this, okay, to select your subject carefully. Okay, don't go exactly like on the order that was planned, but I can select something different that is better for me or for them to understand. Create short and attractive activities. Okay, remember, I mean, we know it in our head, but we have to take into account that definitely working from home is not the same as being at school. Okay, when I'm at school, I'm focused on something. Okay, I'm focused on my teacher. Sorry, I am I have all an environment, a learning environment all around me. I have my classmates. So all of this learning environment helps me to understand, okay? And as we know, little kids, for them it's very important to do something, to be watching, okay? So it's not easy for them to be like confined at home and not seeing exactly your face as they are used to, okay? So the activities that I create need to be short and need to be extra attractive, okay? Because they are working from home. It's not the same. They are not in a learning environment, and probably they are in a kind of difficult environment because probably, I mean, the dad is in one room in a meeting, and then mom is in another room in another meeting. The other siblings that they might have, they are doing a lot of homework. I mean, some kids are getting a lot of homework, even more than the homework that they usually get when they are at school. So this makes it difficult for the little kid to have attention or to have somebody to be helping them with technology or whatever they need. Okay, so as I can make activities short and attractive, it's going to be easier for them to understand. and plan all the moments of your class, okay? It doesn't matter if you are not over there, okay? It's important that they have activities to begin with, the activities that they are going to work and that they have a closure, okay? Even if you are not there, the same way as you do it in your regular classes, that I have a beginning, I have my activities, and I have a closure. It's important that even in my online class or on my online activity, I have all of these moments, okay? So that they feel comfortable with the way it is planned. And if you can, it's very important that you include a short video of yourself, okay? Your students miss you, as I'm sure that you miss them too. Okay, so if they can see you, they are going to feel better. Okay, so if you can include a very short video, just some minutes, to greet them, to tell them how you feel, to ask them something, or probably to explain, okay? Explains part of the activity, probably part of the activity you can write it down, and another you can explain it on the video. So it's gonna be good for them, okay? They are going to feel happy to see you. So if you can, it can be a very good idea to include a short video of yourself. Now, when you are working online, as we said, it's important to create short and attractive activities. Remember that it's not the same. So if you are going to work with presentations, it's important to follow some of these tips, okay? Same thing, that they are short and attractive, okay? Presentations don't need to be very long. It's very important that they have meaningful information only, okay? That you have like just a little information on each one of the slides, not too much, because they are not going to be able to read it and to understand, or they are going to get lost, okay? You need to pay attention that your instructions are extra clear, okay? Because in preschool especially, a lot of times students understand not because of what you say, but more of what they can see, what you are doing, okay? So they look at you and probably they are not paying that much attention, or they are not listening or understanding very good, but they see you do things and they get the idea. Okay, so in this case, since they are not going to be able to see you, it's very important that you take special care in the instructions, and that they are extra clear, as well as the sequence, okay, that they understand what they need to do, what they are going to do next, and they have a general idea. And also, because we have to face that probably most of our students are not able to read. So the parents or a sibling is going to be helping them. So I need to be very careful on my instructions, and that I have a correct sequence so that they can understand and explain the children. Also, I advise you to include funny images, okay? At this moment that we are living in, which we are all stressed because of everything that is happening, we need to laugh a little bit. We need funny images, okay? We ourselves, we usually go in the internet or in any of our social media, and we go looking for funny images because we need it. We need to laugh a little bit because of everything that is happening, okay? It's a way of letting our stress out, okay? So in your presentation related to the subject, you can find a funny image and you can include it. It's a very good thing. Also, using humor when teaching, it improves our learning, okay? Sometimes I can remember something not because of how it was explained, but because something funny happened, and that makes me remember, okay? So humor helps. Okay, some teacher says in here, I'm working with gifts. Yes, that's very nice, okay, because that catches attention, and if I have something funny or something moving over there, it helps. And also, if you have pictures with your students, feel free to include them, okay? As we said, students miss you, okay? So if they see a picture of you with them or with their classmates, they are going to feel very happy. So if you have something over there, it's a good thing to include them too, okay? And if you are going to work with a video, I can give you some tips for videos as well. As I was saying, it's very important that the video is short, okay? Make short videos from 3 to 5 minutes, not more than that. They are small children. And the idea is not that you give them a class, okay? It's not a class. It's just a message for your students to see you. The idea is that they don't feel all alone in their houses, that they can see you as well, but not a class. It's not like a good idea that if I think, okay, I give class to them 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day, then I'm gonna make a video of the same class all the hour. It's not a good idea. You're going to lose their attention, okay? It's not the idea to give a class and like, for example, like the board that I have over here, and take the board and give exactly the class. That's not the idea. Learning online is not the same, as we said, as being at school. So they're not going to pay attention. You're going to lose them at some point. So the best is that you make just a short video, greet them, explain them something, and continue, okay? Talk to them as you usually do, okay? They miss you. The idea is that they see you and they feel like for that moment when they are looking at you that nothing has changed, so that they can feel calm. And they, if you, as we said at the beginning, they feel nervous the same as you do, okay? So try and with your words, help them to feel calm and excited about working like this, okay? This is a challenge for them and for us, okay? So it all depends on the way that we see it. If we see it as a challenge that is overwhelming, it's going to be more difficult to pass through this situation. But if we see it like a challenge that is an exciting thing that I am going to learn new things, it's going to be easier. So when you talk to them, try to make them feel calm and excited about working like this, okay? As if it was a new adventure, because in a way it is, okay? So that's some advices that I can give you related to the videos. And I am going to show you next a video. It's an example video that you can take into account. In this particular video, the teacher is working with slides. It doesn't have sound, it only has music. So if you don't listen to anything, don't worry, it's just the images. And probably for your students, if they don't know how to read, it's not like the best way, but it's for you to get an idea. You can use images or you can use your voice, okay? I'm going to show it to you so you can get an idea. Okay, so what do you think about this video, about this idea? Okay, I'm looking at the chat now. If you can share, what do you think? How do you feel? If you have any questions up to here. Okay, you like the idea? Okay, yes, I think it's a nice idea. As I tell you, not necessarily you have to use like paper. You can use your voice, but this is what your students need. Okay, your students don't need that much knowledge right now. Okay, they need to feel comfortable. They need to feel calm. So you need to do something that is soothing for them. And well, we know that they need to learn as well. Okay, but taking into account all of this. Okay, now as we said, they need to learn. Okay, so if I am going to work with the activities, the place in which I can work all of these is our platform, Estela. So this is a place in which you can organize everything, okay? The first thing that you need to do is check out the resources that we already have. As you know, in our platform, we have a lot of resources already there for you. So you don't need to worry about looking for all of the resources, but also we have a special place in which you can add any other resources that you might need, okay? So first thing is check the section of temas, so you can check out the resources that we already have. Then if you need extra resources, add them in Biblioteca, and then you create your class in the section of actividades, okay? So this way is going to be very easy for you to work with our platform, okay? Following these steps. First step, as we said, is checking what we already have. Okay, we've got you covered with a lot of activities already. And I am giving you this link that you have in here. You can copy it or you can take a picture of it. And in this link, you are going to find a list of all the resources that we already have in our platform and a description of them. Okay, so you can use them. I'm going to go into the link so you can see it. You're going to find an Excel document that you're going to be able to keep in your computers. And here you're going to see all the resources that you have in the platform, okay? In the platform, we have resources for the different series, for Gumdrops, TV Toast, Dino and me. We have all of the resources related to the series. However, even if you don't have that specific series, you can still use them, okay? They can be used for other series as well. If you look at the description, you can use them and you can match them to your own program. Besides, we have some resources like the e-stories, the flashcards, and the songs that are suitable for all the series. So in here, this section, this first column of the series is actually the reference, because that's the way that you are going to find it in the platform. You have the resource, the grades for which it is available, and the description, okay? So if you use this reference of the series and you want to use any other resource, even though you don't have exactly that series, you can check it out, and with this description, it's going to be easier for you to find exactly what you need, okay? So this is all the, yes, I'm gonna show you the link again, yes. So this is what I did for you in this document. Here, there's a link. In that link, you're gonna be able to see it, and you can download it so you can keep it in your computer, okay? And you can copy the link, you can take a picture of it. So you have at least this first step covered, okay? Everything that we already have in there, you can check it in this document so you can use it in your activities. Then if there's something that you want to add to your activity that you cannot, we don't have something exactly like that in the platform, like for example, a video or a presentation that you want to make for them, you can use the section that is called Biblioteca, okay? We have this special place for you in which you can add your own videos, presentations, you can add images or worksheets that you already have, you can add web pages, or you can create some quizzes with any tool that you can find online, and you can include them too, okay? So the idea is that you have what we already have for you, that you can use it, but that you have this place where you can include all of your personal documents or anything else that you would like to add in order to make your activity attractive to your students, because you know your students better than anybody else. And once you have decided which resources you're going to use from our platform, that you have added whatever you need to create your class in the section of actividades, okay? In this section, when you are going to actually create your work, it's very important, as we said before, to give very clear directions, okay? Remember, they are not looking at you. Probably their parents are going to be helping. So they need to be very clear. If you need, you can use Spanish. Actually, most likely you are going to do it in Spanish, because we know that not all of our students can read in English that easily, or if their parents are going to help them, not all of the parents know English. So the most likely is that we are going to use Spanish, but anyways, no matter which language you decide to use, be very clear in your directions, number your activities, that helps so that they can know what goes next, and include all the names of the resources that they are going to use in each one of the activities. Okay, not only number the activities and explain, but include for this activity and the name of the resource that they are going to use, so it is easier for them to find it. Okay, we are going to see an example in a minute, so you can have a more clear idea, but it's important to take this into account, okay, to include the name of the resources so that they don't get lost. And be sure to include all the resources, okay? If I am going to use some resources from temas or some resources that I added in my biblioteca, be sure to add them all to the activity so that it's not confusing for them. And if you need them to send something, if you're going to ask them to send you an evidence of any kind, explain clearly what it is, okay? Because as we said, when they are looking at you or I draw in the board something that I want them to do, it's easier for them to understand. But since in here, they don't have me, they only have words that somebody is reading for them, or they are reading for yourself or for themselves if they are a little older, it's more difficult to understand exactly what I want them to send me, okay? So explain the more clear that you explain is better. And don't include a lot of activities, okay? In this situation that we are now, actually less is more, okay? The less that I include, the more clear that I am going to get more out of them, okay? Remember that it's not that easy for parents to be with them, to be helping them. And at some point, if I have a lot of activities or they are too complicated, I can create a difficult family environment, because probably the parents are going to be a little desperate that they don't understand, or that they don't have enough time to help the small kids. So if I include less activities and they are short, they are attractive, and they are very clear, I can create a nice moment in the family in which the parents are going to explain, and they can have like a good time, because it's only some minutes, okay? They are not going to take a lot of their time. So I think that in this moment, less means more, okay? If I give a lot of activities or they are too complicated, it's going to be difficult for them to work this way, okay? So these are some ideas, and I am going to show you an example, but before we move on to the platform to look at the example, I would like to see in the chat if you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything else that you would like to add up to here before we move on. Okay, no questions. Okay. So if everything is clear, if you don't have any other questions, we are going to move for when they make a role play, I invite the parents. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so if you don't have any questions related to this up to here, I am going to move on and show you an example in our platform. So we are going to go in. Okay, here we can see the platform. This is how I see it as teacher. When I go in as a teacher, I go to my classes. I have this menu in which, as we said, we have the section of temas, in which I am going to find all the resources that you have also in the Excel with the description of what each one of them includes. So I can take resources from here. I have my biblioteca, in which I am going to create a folder. I can create a folder with my name, like this one that I have in here, or with the names of the different subjects, and include my extra resources. In this section of actividades is where I am going to create my class. And I also have this section that is called the forum. And this forum, I can use it. I mean, it's not something that I use very much in preschool, because in this forum, it means that they need to read and they need to write, okay? And the most likely is that most of my students are not able to do either, okay? But I can use it anyways. I have like this example form, for example, that says, how have you felt working from home? So I gave them this question and I gave them these directions. Express how you have felt during this past month in which we have been working in a different way. And a student answered to me, I'm sad, I miss you. And in here, I can interact with them in a written way, okay? So if you feel like your students are able to do this, or if their parents can help them, you can also work with this space in which you can interact with them in a written way. This is another tool that we have in the platform. And what we usually use, because we know that most of our students are not able to read or to write, or it's not easy for them to have somebody helping them. The part that we are going to use a little more is this section of actividades, okay? In here, I already have my activity, the activity that I created. When I create my activity, once it is already there, I am going to be able over here to see where it says entregas. I am going to see everything that they send me. So if I ask them to send me something, I am going to see them over here. And over here, I have the description that I created for the activity, and I have my resources. Okay, so this is my view as a teacher. And now I am going to go in as a student. If I am a student, I see the platform like this. Okay, I go in, and as a student, the first thing that I see over here, I have my activities, the recent activities, or the activities that are that I need to do soon are going to appear in here since my first page. Okay, so it's going to be very easy for me to work. I go into the activity that I am going to work, and this is the way that me as student, I'm going to see it. Okay, I see the name of the activity. I have this section that says new message, and this is the place in which I am going to send my homework. Okay, if my teacher asks me to send something like the picture of a drawing that I made, or any evidence that the teacher asked me to send, this is where I am going to send it, where it says new message. And I am going to see the details of the activity, the description, where I have all the instructions of the directions that I am going to, of what I need to do. And I have at the bottom, I have my resources. Okay, so I can see in here all the resources that I am going to use for this activity. Okay, so we are going to check it so you can have this as an example. Okay, as we said, it's very important to take into account that the students need to feel comfortable with what they are doing, even in the difference, okay? So try to talk to them the way that you usually do. So the words that you usually do, write them that way, okay? So that they feel comfortable and they feel you near. So I have in here, hello, my children. We have a very special mission today. In order to succeed, you have to follow the directions carefully. Are you ready? Okay, so this is my introduction to the activity. And I have, the first thing that you need to do is go to recursos in this activity and identify them so that we can work with them. Follow the next order. Okay, and before I move on to the order that I numbered in here, all the activities, in here I have recursos and I have all the resources that they are going to use. Okay, so first thing that I am asking them is to identify that everything is already over here. Okay, and then I am going to explain in here one by one what they need to do. So I have followed the next order. Number one, open the colors presentation so you know what we will do today. Okay, so I go to my resources and I have my colors presentation. So I open it. So as the teacher said, I can know what to do. Okay, so this is a presentation. And in this presentation, that is the introduction to the activity, I am going to know what to do. I have the title, I have what we are going to do today, that is learn about colors. I have an introduction activity, asking them, explaining them that we have different names for the colors. Have you heard some? Which would you like to learn? Okay, so that I can introduce them a little bit to the subject. Then I explain them what they are going to do, okay? What are going to be today's activities, okay? First, you're going to listen to a song, then you're going to watch the flashcards, then you're going to practice, answer a quiz, and practice a little more, okay? So that they have a clear idea of what they are going to do today, okay? And I am trying to create activities that are not that distant of what I usually do in classes, okay? Probably in class, a lot of times I start with a song, okay? So it's something that they are familiar with, okay? And I tell them, besides, you'll find everything that you need in Estela, our platform, okay? And for getting to work, you need to go into our platform in order to find the rest of the directions and our resources. And even here, I included the link to the platform so that they can go in. And finally, I have the last slide. Have fun, your teacher. And in here is what I was telling you. If you can include in your presentations pictures, if you have pictures with your students or of them working, so they are going to feel happy to see them and to see you, okay? Then after I've watched the presentation, watch the video and listen to the colors sung. Can you sing along? Did you already know some of these colors? Okay, so I go in here and I go to the colors sung, which is a video that I uploaded. And I have a song over here. Okay, and the idea is for them to watch the video, to sing the song, to feel a little familiar on the way that we usually work in class. Okay, if I usually sing in my classes, it's good for them to look at a song also and start in the same way. Okay, so if I have songs from my series, like somebody was saying that in Dino and Me you have some music, and if you know that the children have their CD at home, well, that's the best thing, okay? You can just tell them which track, okay? If you don't, because we know that probably not all of our students took everything home, we can also use these extra resources like videos or anything else that you can find. Then watch the video colors flashcards, so you can identify the names of the colors in English. You can watch it as many times as you need, okay? So in here, I have this video about flashcards. In this case, I used a video that I found in YouTube, but if you can make your own video, this part, you can do it with your own face. If you have your flashcards at home, probably you can show it to them and they can see your face with the flashcards, okay? Instead of just looking at a video. Okay? If you don't have it, well, you can use what we have in YouTube, okay? Then after looking at the flashcards, I have my next activity, number 4 and number 5 are practices, okay? I have practice 1 and practice 2. It says open practice 1 and answer. You can print it, copy it, or answer in your book. And same thing for practice 2, okay? The 2 practices, I have it over here. We know that not, as I was saying, not all of our students probably took their books home. So it's important that I give them options, okay? If they don't have their book at home, in this case, for example, I took an example from Gumdrops. If they don't have the book at home, I can send it to them here and I can ask them to print it, but we know that probably they don't have a printer either. So that's why I'm giving another option that is copying, okay? So I have the 2 practices that I'm giving to them. And I'm giving all of those options, okay? If you have your book, answer it in your book. Here you have the page. If you have a printer, you can print it or you can copy it, okay? So it's not complicated for them. Then I have, now we will play the color game. You can play as many times as you want to improve your score. And in here I have a link to the color game. That is a game that I found online. You can use this page that is called the British Council. You have different games over there, or you can look for any other web page where you can find different games so that we can take advantage of technology, okay? Not all the time it's like the regular work that we do in class, like practices, working in the book or things like that, but also taking advantage that we have technology over there. So take those things, and it's going to be more entertaining for them to play these games than just like working the regular way. Okay, so in this case, for example, in this game, I have the sound, and the idea is that I match, okay, all the colors. Okay, so the idea is that they work over here. They practice a little bit in this way. And finally, I have a quiz. Okay, the idea is that in this quiz, they express a little more of what they have learned over here. I have in here the directions. Let's see what you have learned. Answer colors quiz. When you finish, you can check your answers right there, and I will see them too. Okay, so I have this quiz that I created with Google Forms. And in this case, I ask them to write their name, first of all, and then I have only 3 questions, okay, 4 questions, 3 that have points and the last one that doesn't have any points. I have these questions and they are going to answer them. I have like in here, what are the leaves of the tree? What color is the fish? And select all the colors you can see in the image. Okay, so this one I'm gonna do it wrong. And then now select your favorite colors. Okay, so they can just select whatever they want. They send their answer and then they can see their score. Okay, so I can see my own score. The first one was correct. The second one was correct too. The third one was not all correct, okay, because I selected red, orange, and blue, and the correct answer was yellow, red, and blue. And then the last one, anything that I wrote was correct. Okay, so this tool, Google Forms, you can use it for these short quizzes that are easy for them. It's like games I created, and they can see their answers over here, and me as teacher, I can see the answers of my students as well. Okay, so it can be a good tool that you can use as well. And finally, to end the activity, I have like an extra resource. Would you like to learn more colors? Look at learn more colors. And I have this image in which I have more colors, more than the ones that I was working in the first place, so that they can have like an extra activity. And print or copy, practice more colors, which is exactly the same thing that they had in the image, only that in here is for them to color with it. Okay, so to go like a little further. Okay, so it's like for fast finishers or for students that are a little more advanced and want to know a little more, I have these extra activities. And I am asking them also to give me an evidence. I have take a picture of your work and send it to me through this platform. So the idea is that everything that they did, they get a picture and they are going to send it over here where it says new message. And that's the end of the activity. I hope that you have learned and had fun. Love, your teacher. Okay, so this is an example activity. I recommend that your activity are shorter probably than this one, definitely not longer. But if you make a long activity like this one, for example, you can give them like one day, I mean, not only one day, but 2 days or a week, or you give them more time to do it, okay? So you can create a longer activity like this one and give them 2 or 3 days to do it, or you can create short activities with only 2 or 3 resources. And the idea is that the activities are suitable for them, okay? Like these ones, okay? Definitely they need help. Probably they are going to need help with technology and with opening and reading, but the activities are suitable for them, okay? So that's the idea, that you create something that it's easy for them to do. And as we said, I'm reading right here in the chat that the parents request that the description is in Spanish. Yes, okay, I know that's what we said since the beginning, that the most likely is that you are going to be using more Spanish than English actually in your description, because they are going to be helping and not all of the parents know English, okay? I don't know, related to this example, if you have any other questions, something else that you would like to add, that you would like me to add? I'm looking at the chat now, so feel free to share any questions or comments, please. Okay. Well, I believe there are not any more questions. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, we are going to go to the closure of the session. As we said, this moment that we are now living is not easy for anybody. So it's very important to take all of that into account at the moment that I am teaching. Okay, so try not to feel stressed, try to feel calm and transmit that to your students as well. I would like to end with a phrase related to this. I am going to read it for you. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows. And the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully, as they had been healed. Okay, so the idea with this phrase is that we take the best that we can from all of this situation, and that learning to use all of these tools can be helpful also in our regular classes, no matter that we are not in-house later on, okay? So if you don't have any other comments or other questions, just before you leave, I would like you to answer, to go into the poll that you can see over here in your screen. It's the same, it's in Paleb. You can go into this app, and if you can please share something that you learned today. Okay, and everything that you share, we're going to see it in here on screen. Okay, so if you can share with me something that you learned today, something that you would like to add. No ideas, thank you very much. Okay, and also besides this one that I am asking you to answer in the poll, you are going to see also in your screen another poll where you can give your comments also on this session. Okay, thank you very much for your attention and for your time, and I hope that this can be useful for you.
Perfecto, Ale, muchísimas gracias. Muchas gracias por la sesión. Muchas gracias a todos por acompañarnos. Vemos que, bueno, ya tenemos por ahí un 42% de respuestas en la encuesta, entonces pues les pedimos por ahí que nos ayuden a contestarla, los que están acá en el Zoom. Los que están en YouTube, muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Como les decíamos, pues esto obviamente es sumamente importante porque vamos perfilando mucho más el aprendizaje de obviamente, digamos, en ciertos temas y en ciertos momentos, ¿no? Yo para cerrar, Ale, te voy a pedir, porfa, que me ayudes a compartir, bueno, más bien me des oportunidad de compartir pantalla, perdón, se hizo la luz y se hizo muy rápido aquí en casa. Les voy a compartirles mi pantalla, denme un segundo, pero antes déjenme abrir la imagen. Denme un segundito. porque pues por ahí tenemos una sorpresa, no sé si ya lo vieron, creo que me parece que por ahí ya se mandó por correo electrónico, pero si no, pues tenemos una sorpresa ahora para Día del Niño. Denme un segundo. Ya saben, les digo que siempre la tecnología nos juega malas pasadas, caray. Denme un minuto, estoy buscando la imagen, ya la encontré, por acá la tengo. La estoy descargando. WhatsApp, perfecto. Vale, listo. Ya está la imagen, les voy a compartir mi pantalla. Listo, bueno, pues ahí están viendo esta invitación. Pues el aviso parroquial es, vamos a tener una sesión especial para este próximo jueves, el 30 de abril, una sesión para niños. Entonces, pues queremos obviamente invitarlos y pedirles que nos apoyen a invitar a todos sus alumnos. Está pensada en ser una sesión para chicos de primaria, ¿vale? Edad pues prácticamente de 4 a 12 años, ¿no? Eso es importantísimo. Vamos a tener una sesión que va a ser por Zoom, pero además la vamos a transmitir a través de YouTube y estamos viendo también la posibilidad de transmitirla a través de Facebook, es decir, de manera simultánea, porque recuerden, nosotros tenemos una cuenta corporativa de Zoom que nos da una capacidad máxima de 1000 participantes y entendemos que muchos de ustedes tienen una comunidad mucho más grande, ¿no? Entonces, con esto lo que estaremos buscando es, pues, que todos puedan entrar. Es una invitación para todos nuestros chicos. Va a haber un payaso, vamos a tener magia, vamos a tener cuentacuentos, vamos a tener ilustración digital y muchas cosas más que vamos a estar compartiendo con ellos, ¿no? Entonces, esta invitación ya la tiene tanto el equipo de coaches, si no les ha llegado por correo, pídansela a su coach, no pasa nada. También el equipo comercial ya la tiene. Iván la acaba de compartir ahorita en el chat, desde ahí la pueden descargar. En fin, la idea es que nos puedan ayudar a compartirla con todos, pues para que podamos darles a los chicos un día, digo, dentro de la capacidad, obviamente, un día diferente, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, eso es muy importante. Y pues finalmente, dejo de compartir pantalla y pues finalmente agradecerles de nueva cuenta su acompañamiento. Vamos a cerrar la transmisión en YouTube. Muchas gracias a los que nos acompañaron en YouTube. Un saludo a todos. Le voy a pedir a Zuli que me ayude a cerrar la transmisión. Saludos a